bit of a Bugatti. Oh, righty guys. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I actually have an alarm now set on my computer to allow for me to basically get notified that I need to be live at 3 instead of sitting here going through and actually not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now of course we are last 7 days, of course we made that much, but we in profit, but we actually did not make that in profit, to be honest. Send out that I'm live. Let me open up my YouTube here as well as TikTok. Sorry, I am so much better at this. I've gotten lazy.
Hey everybody, Brett for my discussion.
I have gotten myself into some heated discussions with some things. Actually, whoops, wrong thing. Let me go click on my open up the dashboard because I don't use ground control. Because I have to even utilize it, but we are going to do a couple of things here. We're going to get some rest first. Got a little bit of a new Bugatti. I got that thing, I got the new Bugatti thing stuck in my head. But we'll see how far we go for today. But there is a couple of things, like I'm going to continue to talk about it, and I'm going to continue to share it absolutely every stream out there on the process. For it. Now, of course, you guys are going to hear, me not talk for a second. Because I need to plug in my headphones because they're about to die. I don't mind that this happens, but I don't really mind this so much. But we are in Butte. Unfortunately, we had an issue with I don't got a lot of time. So 9 hours is gonna be pushing this. No, that's fine. But I need to go over here to click view. those potatoes are worth it more. See, those potatoes are higher rated. Yeah, these potatoes are higher rated, and we're going back over to Washington. I think that would be fine. We've got that one there for the potatoes. Buttes doesn't got a lot here. Yeah, I got what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this potatoes. We're gonna take some potatoes. Thanks to Kodak for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. But I do want you guys to know that if you guys are enjoying yourselves today, remember to hit that follow, hit that subscribe, and make sure you guys hit that bell notification with the all. Because if you don't hit that bell notification with the all while you're watching here on YouTube, you aren't going to get notified when I do go live. Go live. You aren't also going to get notified that I'm always live every day, pretty much. You know, if you guys want to watch this in the past because you missed some stuff or missed some things that I said, or you got into the middle of a conversation, afternoon streams you guys can watch on YouTube. You know, but or you guys, if you don't have a YouTube account and you want to do that, then you can always catch it back on a Trovo stream for free without having to have an account either. But you can watch it, but for free. You can't watch it on Trovo. If I remember to put it behind a paywall. Sometimes I forget to do this. Because I forget to put it. Thanks, Garwolf. Thank you for Thank you for the compliment. I would love to make sure that I can see my. Nope, that's not even gonna work. The best. It's gonna be hard for me to see, but thanks for liking. Thanks for. Unfortunately, these glasses are like $200 glasses, so it's it's really expensive, and it's just gonna be one of those things where and my haircut, I actually haven't had a haircut for a while, so probably should at least get one though. But, well, I am gonna say this, and I always say this every time I go live, genuinely most of the time. I've been saying this a lot lately. I am not running on Windows, for my gaming setup. I'm still running my streaming setup on a Windows operating system, but I'm running Linux on my gaming side. And there's a big reason for it, is because I'm trying to slowly get away from Microsoft as much as I can, because I am not gonna sit here and be bothered to have a lot of the telemetry data that they offer. Okay, basically taking all that data, probably selling it. and that, and so that's why I have been over here on Linux. Thanks, Sheriff Noah. Thanks for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. So I have found that Valve is taking Valve is actually doing a lot more work. Doing a lot more work to support Linux. Proton's absolutely working on that. So as soon, like, I would probably switch over to SteamOS once they can get that support for it. Thanks, Blissful Unaware, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. For that. So that's basically, it's like, I want to be able to support companies, support the open source is pretty much what I like to do as much as I can. Like, if I can go through open source projects and know open source as much as I can. Like, I'm not saying that video gaming, like, games are open source. I'm just saying I would like to have a little bit more fine control over what I use. And stuff. And so when I have the ability to run an operating system like Linux, now of course I'm not using just any Linux operating system. You guys can see it in the description that I am running the bazzite distro. I'm not gonna switch from bazzite. I'm not gonna switch from it because for now bazzite just works out of the box. I don't want to like have to configure stuff. I don't want to have to go out there and install stuff when it's primarily this is what I use. But there's also some other interesting news as well. Where I am absolutely happy with Linux, but I am not happy with some of the things that are going on, is that, well, there's going to be this thing where in the United States, we have somebody that I wanted to really come in and say that, you know, you look at things with people with dementia, and you look at people with that. They usually, a lot of times, you can tell they get when they constantly are getting angry. You know, like the person. Like the person. Like if you've been around the person for a long time, you know how that person is. And usually, a lot of times, somebody who ends up getting dementia, forgetful, they usually tend to get a lot more angry as time goes on, and I feel like Trump is that way, a little bit. And it's I don't want to like say that he's a bad person, but to say he's really truly a super bad person enough. Yes, he's really bad. He's just as worse than most people in this thing. But thanks, Papo Smurf. Thanks, Papo Smurf, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. It's one of those things where Trump is not one of those people that I really absolutely. So there's like he gets occasionally he'll get something right, but it's like most of the stuff most of the bad stuff outweighs the good on him. Like forcing Coca-Cola to use cane sugar. I am like, this is not right. Being forceful, but like that's okay for us to like going to cane sugar, you know, but not allowing for the ability is like he only doing it to distract away from the Epstein files, from the Epstein's list. And I'm gonna continue to keep talking about it. I'm gonna continue to keep bringing that up because if it triggers him so much, then why don't you just freaking release it and then stop complaining? If you are complaining about the Epstein files not being released, but then yet you don't want, but yet you voted to not release them. You're in no way, shape, or form. When you look at when you look at stuff like that, when you look at the problems with that, and you look at the content that comes out of with the Epstein files and stuff, that you are complicit, that you are basically, if you are voting to go against the release of the Epstein files, you are actually more complicit with child exploitation. And it's no way, shape, or form is that absolutely a thing that should be happening in this world. You should not be doing those things. It's like I understand the corn that goes on out there, the stuff out there, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like we are losing our freedom because we can't go out there and watch corn now. Like, I got a notification yesterday, like, oh yes, I do watch corn. You guys know what I'm talking about. You can figure it out. And now basically I got this notification from the hub site, one of the hub sites that basically says you now have 14 days basically before they decide to pretty much have 14 days to basically say it's no longer allowed. Now of course corn is not allowed in France either, but it's like not being able to have the freedom to watch whatever you want to watch. Like, yeah, it might be a bad thing, it might be something going against the rule of law, but there are a lot of times where you look at mistakes. Guess what? Nobody's perfect. Nobody, like, you want to prevent children from accessing corn, but yet they're gonna find ways to get around all this nonsense. People will find, when you start removing that access, they're going to find it. They're gonna make it harder for them to find it, but they're still gonna end up finding it. And when they do, it's gonna be the malware infested website or a site that's basically not gonna follow the law. And when they don't, because guess what, these sites that are not American, if the site's not an American website, they're just gonna, they don't have to follow the law of the United States. They don't have to. These sites have to follow the law of their own home country where they're from. Now, of course, some sites are going to be more following the law and following the rules, following. But there are times where, thanks user for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. And there are going to be times where, hold on, guys, give me a second here. I need to change a thing because it shouldn't be Call of Duty. I forgot to change that. I will do one thing before I do finish talking about this. I gotta quickly go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. watch out for joining the TikTok live. Thank you guys. Okay. It's one of those things, well, thanks, well, Aslam Talega for joining, basically. Thanks, Riley, for joining the TikTok live as well. Thank you guys. But it's like, you go and you watch these places, and you go and watch, like, the content. Like, you actually, sometimes a website's going to like, a site that produces that corn, that corn is basically pretty much, there are going to be times where something illegal is going to slip through the cracks. Trust me. If that happens, guess what? Now they have to start legislating YouTube, because YouTube has, you know, it has it there. You just can't go and you just can't find it directly through the search, but it's there. You know, there are places out there like Twitter, and Blue Sky and all these other platforms that have it, Reddit, you name it. They're gonna now start having to legislate those things, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, it's no fun when you go out there and you look at all this stuff. Yeah, there are gonna be times where, you know, you look at all the barely legal or anything like that. You're running that risk, and you run that risk. Okay, you're running that risk just in general, and the other issues that come along with it is, you know, you look at the issues of the content for it. It's like, okay, you're gonna basically now require us to have an ID. Well, guess what? Some of these major websites aren't gonna want to do that. What we should really do, and if you wanted to actually figure out a way, you know, instead of putting IDs, basically what they should do is so that then that no data is being, like, there's already data being stored, but it's being stored by the government. The government knows you. So the government already has information on you. Why can't we just take our ID, go to our local DMV or our local place that allows us to, basically, where we can go and use our ID, get a code that allows us to go out. Yeah, no. It's like, how did I miss that? Fined for missing, and then violating it, getting hit. Didn't realize I missed it. I thought it was up a little further. Okay. $1,000 off this job. Did not mean to do that. Like, if I knew I had to go to a way station, it's like, I would have had better stuff. It's hard for me to pay attention and talk to you guys too, so yeah, it's like, we could have it where we can just go in and get a code and get the thing, go to your local DMV, and, like, when you go and you submit your license, you get this code, and it's like, but they don't see that as anything better on it. They don't see it that way. They only want to see it, oh, well, they're going to legislate us to have to use our IDs. Well, guess what? Did you know that using your ID actually opens more risk to these companies actually accessing it? And it's like, especially with the corn, it's like, these places are, there's going to be places out there that do not absolutely support, who may have nefarious intentions to upload these things and then use that for nefarious reasons. It's like, you have to really think about really have to think about what really constitutes access to it. And it's like they want hardware. Like they want hardware. And I think that's even worse. But I think it's like, how are we gonna combat this, to be honest? There's no way that we will absolutely be able to combat every ounce of our data, to be honest. A lot of these companies have our data on it. It's like our privacy is not out there anymore. Our privacy's been out the door for a while, but having the ability to have some privacy is actually better than having no privacy at all. And I would like to have some privacy. And that's what I would like to have. Is to have a little bit of some of that privacy through the places that I use. Like, I don't want to have Microsoft having all of my data, all in eggs in one basket. I don't want my data, I want my data to be spread out. I don't want it, like, I mean, you know, I don't want it to be all dedicated into one place, because that one place is going to end up going to get hacked, and then they're going to end up having to, you know, and it's going to be a problem. Well, I also didn't want my operating system really doing that. But you also have, not only do you have access to the core, and guess what? All I have to do is tunnel outside of the United States, outside of France, and I have access to corn. You know, I have access to it. You know, I can tunnel to Canada, I can tunnel to Mexico, I can tunnel to another country that has these laws that don't have these data laws, and I can just go and easily watch it, and without having to use my IDs and stuff. So it's like they're defeating the purpose of today's digital age is a lot different than, you know, than the 1980s, when technology was kind of there, but it was slowly becoming a thing. But what you had to do back then, you know, I'm nowhere near. I was never born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s, mid 90s. And you can still go and access this stuff through. In the 80s, you could go to your local Blockbuster. Okay, so now I will. Now, of course, it's going to take a lot of stuff. Like, you can't really go out and expect everything to, you know, be the speed like it used to be, like requiring kids to have access to. Well, guess what? In the 1980s, you had magazines, you had adult places to go out and buy. Go out and buy this stuff out in the adult places, and you can't, like, thanks Musicus Christamanas, thanks for joining. I can't pronounce your name right, but I am sorry if I can't. They have access to it. They're gonna have access to all of this data and today, but then it's like kids still had access to it. It just made it a lot harder. It was a lot harder for them to get to it, but they still had access because if an adult had access to it, the child's gonna have access to it. And it's the same thing with the ID, that if you tied to the account, you have kids, your kids are gonna then inevitably will have access to it, or they will find access to it, because there's no stopping access to this content. There's no way to stop it. You can try to do everything you can. I hate when I do that. Like, you can have access to it at any age, at any point. And so it's like, you know, it's one of those things where you want to stop it. You're gonna have to make it even harder. You're gonna have to basically say, we're gonna block all these websites in the United States. Well, then, what if you start blocking these websites, and then you say, okay, well, I'm blocking this site, I'm gonna block this site, I'm gonna block that site, I'm gonna block this one, this one, this one, this one. You're basically gonna be playing cat and mouse now, because when one site goes down, multiple pop up. Guess what? Did you know that one of my favorite websites, where I used to actually watch, is down? But did you know that and where I used to upload to? Guess what? Those videos still exist out there somewhere. And all of this data that we had stored on these places, guess what? They still exist. They're still out there. They're still going to be out there no matter what. And it's like you can't go out there and expect these things to must have been an accident there. There, so it's like one of those things. It's like you gotta realize that. Thanks, Samana TikToker, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. It's like you can't go out there and expect these places to absolutely have 100% of the support on anything, because you take away a site, you take away you take away the video gaming content, the ROM sites, you take down these ROM sites. Well, guess what? Did you know that there are plenty of ROM sites out there that are not? And if they get taken down by the FBI, well, guess what? If they get taken down, did you know that if they take it down, and you can still go and try to see if you can get around that? You can go and try to get around it and see if you can access it in another country, and you can still have access to it. Guess what? You're trying to play cat and mouse these days, and it's like, they're gonna try, look, they say that they're gonna gerrymander in 2020. There's this thing where they want to gerrymander. One of the topics that I wanted to talk about is this: is the midterms gonna be rigged? Are the midterms gonna be absolutely rigged to the point of that it's gonna support Donald Trump? Of course. He's gonna try every way to stick him into power, to continue to have power. But guess what? One of the things that California said that they're going to do is they're going to gerrymander the hell out of the Republicans and make sure that it's all blue people getting elected. Which means if there's 9 people in Texas and only 4 in 4 in Texas, 9 in California, Republicans, and those 9 Republicans get flipped over to Democrats. Guess what? That outweighs the 4 Democrats that lost in California, in Texas, I should say. Sorry, I get those two mixed up. Because thanks, Brando, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. It's like you can't go out there and expect that, you know, you look at these things, it's like, why are you trying to rig the election so that these 4 people can't get out there and, you know, guess what? At some point you try to gerrymander so that it's always a Republican, it's always this. But just remember, if the vast majority of people, okay, have a disdain right now, and you look at all the disdain from what's going on in the United States within Congress and Trump, guess what? There's going to be a lot of places that have a Republican that won't have a Republican in 2026 in these midterms. You know, there's going to be this midterm where these Republicans are going to actually take back the House and take back the Senate, because a lot of people are having disdain for the trust of the policies. And it's like, it's going to be difficult because, look, right now in the place where I live, you know, in the place where I live, you know, in the place where I live, it's one of those things where, you know, that these places are going to be supported by the Democrat, or by the, you know, or for whatever it's worth, you know, there's these things that are going to have problems. Problems, because guess what? Those problems that exist in California, those problems that exist are affecting everybody. And you can't just really expect that, you know, that, oh, this place is going to change because the left is going to change it. Well, no, the left is not going to change it if there are only Republicans ever been recorded in there. If somebody else goes in there and breaks the status quo, you know, if like, for example, like South Dakota, if a 19-year-old can run for governor of South Dakota and actually outbeat the current governor, that ends up going out there and he said, well, there's going to be a lot of upsets in probably the midterms. There's going to be a lot of upsets that a lot of people are going to expect that, oh, well, this state's now turning blue because of Donald Trump, and the disdain for it. It's the whole point. There are going to be a lot of people who will expect that you go and listen to Fox News, you go and listen to these places. A lot of these people believe in this crap. A lot of people go out there and listen to Fox News as if it's the truth, as if it's the only place that you get your news. It's like, you shouldn't go out there and listen to Fox News. You shouldn't go out there and listen to CBS News, or NBC, or CNN, or New York Post, or the Washington Examiner, or the Daily Caller, or LGBTQ Nation, Pink News, The Advocate, just to name a few. There's plenty more out there, and you know, I will tell you, use an aggregate like Ground News. You know, Ground News has that big thing that allows you to see the blind spots, see the things that you may not have noticed before. And there's this thing where, you know, in no way am I sponsored by Ground News, of course, because when I use Newsbreak, I use Smart News. Those are the two places I get my news from, because I actually utilize, like, oh, if there's something really interesting that's going to catch my eye, I'm going to catch it and see what they're saying about it. But I use primarily the places that I listen to a lot of my news. I tend to listen to a lot of Midas Touch. Midas Touch is actually the main source I get my news from. But I do occasionally listen to Jesse Dollemore, David Pakman, you know, and stuff. I used to listen to the Young Turks side of things, I don't listen to the Young Turks that much anymore because the Young Turks kind of haven't been really. There's something weird going on with them, and it's not. It's like, look, like I will tell you, I'm a left-leaning person. 2022. You know, I kind of started shifting myself from the 2022. Is when I started my. I'm 30, by the way. I think I'm. Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah, I'm 30, by the way. I had to double check to make sure because sometimes I blank out. But being 30, you know, I started my thing in when I went to college in 2013, 2014. Guess what? Did you know that I actually voted Republican in 2013, 2014? I'm gonna do it so that these guys can have it. So these guys can get an easier time to come through and get in. But there's a lot of this that goes on. Like, I voted Republican in 2013, voted Republican in 2014 actually, and then I voted in 2016, I voted in 2018, and I voted in 2020, all Republican. Every single one of those was I voted Republican. Then I started, what really got me, like, I voted Republican, I voted this way because, you know, look, what really got me was, like, me just not really paying attention, me not listening, me not really having a varied source of news. And it's in 2022 that really actually kind of really where I voted blue. I voted blue in 2022. I started voting left-leaning since then. 2022 and 2024 were the two that I started voting left. And I saw it because of Donald Trump. And when I started seeing people who support Donald Trump and who are supporting him, I absolutely stopped voting for those people. Those people that are out there that willing saying that they're going to support Donald Trump, they're not the people I'm going to end up supporting. I absolutely do not support Donald Trump. I absolutely hate him. This one I could bypass, so. But I am going to move over, though. And so I will tell you, like, me voting left or me voting right, it's like, no, I don't vote left, I don't vote right just because I'm a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat, and I actually, I'm going to tell you, I registered as a Democrat, but I have a little bit more of the side of that. You look at the far right, you look at the far left, it's like there are some things in the far right. The far right is worse than the far left, to be honest. I'm not saying that the far left is any worse. I'm just saying that there are a lot of things within these issues that are explained that thank you guys for joining the TikTok live, guys. Thank you. It's where I do have a choice and I do have the rights to make my own decisions. And I should have to have the freedom to choose. Okay? I don't want to lose my freedom to be part of the LGBTQ community. I don't want to lose my freedom to be part of a church. I don't want to lose the freedom to have an abortion or not. I want to be able to have that freedom to be able to have a gun or to not have a gun. I would like to have the freedom to I'd like to have that freedom to be able to speak my mind and not be oppressed and not be told that I can't talk about Trump in a bad way. You know, there are people on here on platforms that are pretty much, if you talk bad about Trump, you're pretty much SOL. You know, and there are a lot of platforms out there that do want to take away that choice of that freedom to talk about your choice. And this is why I have multiple platforms. This is why I don't just rely on one stinking platform. This is why I rely on Blue Sky. This is why I rely on TikTok. This is why I rely on YouTube and Trovo. This is why I live stream on multiple platforms. And if I can't have the freedom to stream on multiple platforms, and I have to have a certain platform being primarily as my focus, it's like, why would I want to talk? Wait a minute. Okay, so that's just basically there. It's like, why do I want to go out and vote for these people that have, you know, that are taking away the freedom, taking away that choice? Now, of course, there are some things where my freedom, I wouldn't mind letting go of for some things. Like, I don't care about, you know, about what food I can and cannot eat. Like, I do care a little bit about that, but again, having the freedom to make that decision is a little bit persnickety. I am a little bit persnickety on some things, and, you know, there are some things where you know, like, freedom to have a place of my own. It's like, I want to be able to have the freedom to have a place of my own, but also be able to have the freedom to be able to rent, being able to have the freedom to eat what I want. But if some products are, like, unhealthy, I'd rather take the healthy approach. Like taking that approach of, I want of that. Thanks Donald Alexander 57 for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. It's just like, I want to be able to have the freedom to choose and the freedom to make that decision. I don't want to rely on X platform to tell me that I cannot speak this, or be able to speak some things. Like, if I cannot speak bad about a person to the extent, then I don't want to, then that platform is not quite doing what it's supposed to be doing. A platform should be allowed to have some disdain for some things. Like, oh, you want to talk bad about a certain... Now, of course, I know I'm tired. We will go sleep over there after this, unless there is... Oh, duh. I need to turn because I can't turn. But I want to be able to... Thanks, Juan, for joining the TikTok live. It's like, people should be able to allow to speak their mind, have a choice, make make their things be heard, make everybody have the right to speak a mind, to speak whatever, okay? That's called freedom. And being able to not establish a religion in the United States, this country was not established to have a single religion to be established. Well, there is going to be a religion that will be established at some point. Okay, there will be an official religion established, but I don't want that to be tied into my government. Even though I go to church, even though I do these things, like sometimes, like, yeah, I go to church. But a lot of you guys probably would think that I go to church and actually get substance out of it. I actually go to church and I just sit and play on my phone sometimes. And it's like, you know, I don't get substance. You know, I play video games in church. I play video games pretty much everywhere I go. It's like most of the time I sit on my I'll admit this, I sit on my phone, or I sit on my or I sit or I sit on my phone and just go on social media. Like I'm on social media like 24/7 pretty much. I'm always on YouTube, I'm always on Facebook, I'm always on Instagram. I'm always on those platforms more than I am actually live streaming. Like, I will tell you, like, I don't play much into video games. I actually, if you look at my day-to-day, I absolutely, there are times where I actually go and watch more on social media than I do on playing video games. It's like I sit here for about maybe 5, 6, 7 hours, but then I'm sitting there, like, most of the time I'm on actual social media when I could be looking for a job, and a lot of other things, and that's just not right. And so it's like, and it's like, I don't, I know. But it's like you can't, thanks Capital for joining. So it's like, you can't really go out there and, like, look, you know, you may think that what you have for the things that you listen to or the things that you do, it's like, being able to have that freedom. I would rather be able to have the freedom to get the healthcare that I need. You know, being transgender is not a point of where it is, nor Ryan 512. You know, Um, you know, thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks, Games Video, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. But it's like, you can't just go out there and expect everybody to believe everything that you want. But that's the beauty of being able to have that freedom. You know? You know, and that's what I like. And having the freedom to be able to play what games you want to play, be able to play them physically, digitally, you know. Excuse me, I knew I was gonna sneeze. But, excuse me. You know, I'm always this person that really... goes out. Actually, what I want to do, let's go to services. Let's go to used truck services. International, see if we got the International Lone Star. We've got the International Lone Star day cabs. This one's a 400 horsepower. This one, why is this one more expensive? That's the Eastern Ultra Shaft. FM15E 310B. Yeah, why is that one more expensive than this one? And there's this thing that I've been thinking about buying one of these and putting them in to getting a second driver, but I only have 24,834 and I don't have the funds for it. And this international day cab, this day cab follows 450 horsepower, and it's 200 gallon fuel tank, but its maintenance is like 82% on that maintenance that I have to do, and it's got a lot of parts of wear and tear. So what I'm going to do is I want to see if I can change that for the day. Yeah. It did not change, really. No, we could go with this international day cab. Of course. Go to Truck Explorer, though. National. There, we're gonna go down and put the day cab on. It can only goes 9x4. It's gonna be there, but I wanted to actually up the cold color fold. Because that's the thing that I always want, is to make sure that we have the Moonlight Tropicana. Day cab roof deflector. Single or double. So we could do this. So what I'm thinking is, let's go to save the game here real quick. We're gonna do this. I want to check something out. We're gonna go to live 7/17/2025. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We're gonna test something out, because I want to be able to have I like this day cab, this thing here, but I want to try something. We're gonna go to services. We're gonna go to bank. We are gonna take out a $50,000 loan. Okay, for this reason. Now we could take that 100,000, but we're gonna try two things. We're gonna go to used trucks. Okay, we're gonna take out. We're gonna purchase this international. In your garages. What do you mean? Oh, I can only have one. So that means I have to have 180,000 for that. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we'll load you up then instead. Let's go to services. Go to the bank. We could take out a $40,000 loan. Now that's going to be daily investment of that. I could take out another 100,000. And then actually let me do this. We're gonna do okay, that actually right now that's still you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna repay both of those back. Yes, we're gonna have to be paying that 400,000, but I think what I can do is right now we pay that much. But I think if we go to use, go to the garage, okay. We have a save point. So let me go, garage manager. We are going to upgrade you. Why? And then it will cost us 100. I think it's actually costs 180 always to buy it. So the first one's always gonna be that way. So now let's go to used trucks. What we are going to do is we're gonna go down here. We have we have 244,000. Okay. Now we could go out. We're gonna take and we're gonna purchase you. Okay. We're gonna take you. We're gonna now then go to Garage Manager. Take this. We're gonna upgrade you. So we can do this without having. No, we're gonna keep this at the lowest amount that we can. So basically, I want to see. That's going to cost us that much just to upgrade you. To it. I think what we'll do is we're gonna put you back down. See, order. We're gonna take the order out of there. Okay. We're gonna upgrade the engine for sure, though. Okay, so that's actually going to be a lot better there. Okay. We're going to keep it the dark wood. Dark wood. Okay. Now we're going to increase the tank. Just increase the tank, but now this is taking a flawless truck. Okay. On this. Now this is gonna put it up to a to this. Now, of course, that's what that will look like if we do the International 9100. It will to upgrade it, Remember, it's 1,000 for it. No, just being able to let me do what I would normally, hold on. Let me go down here. No. Down here to driver to this. Okay. So we're gonna basically put everything. Yeah, we're gonna put everything up to the. It doesn't matter which one we use, so we'll keep it the light wood. And we can put that there with that. That's gonna cost us 119 for having this truck here to being up there. Now we still have to go and do repairs on this truck. Of course, on that standard. Keep everything just default, but I think yeah, it's still, if we keep everything the default. No. So that's gonna cost us about 100. And to get this vehicle, remember, to get this vehicle was 27,000. Okay, plus, and then yeah, this is gonna be. I want to say. Okay. So it's 27, and it's gonna cost us about 130. And it's gonna cost us about 119 to get all of that. So that's basically about 130 for it. To get this international, I don't get the difference between this one and that one being just 5% different, being a little bit different. And it's still going to cost us more to probably just get it and just go and repair it and get a thing and set up for our driver itself. If we go and we put in that 400,000 directly, we have to have 180,000 just alone in order to upgrade the garage and get those people going in. And I think that's just going to be what we do. Is we don't have enough. I'm going to take a risk. I'm tired of waiting. I want to be able to have more money flowing in daily. So what I want to do is we're going to take, I might do this international day cab one. Like, it's 27, here, it's 27 for this one. Thanks Cobb for joining. Okay. I know I like to use a calculator. We've got this one at 27.3 no 0.434. Okay. Not point. There. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this. We have the money to do this. If I do this right, we'll go to bank. We take out this loan. Okay. We'll be able to save on some money daily because I'm gonna pay off the other loan immediately. Let's go down to our garage manager. Let's go down over here. Let's go and upgrade you. We're going to used trucks. We're going to go down to the international. Purchase you. We'll put you down here. There. Okay. Now, we're going to do this in a way that, then we got a truck manager now. Now let's go down here. We're going to upgrade you. Okay. We're going to go with the sleeper. Because we can. And then we're going to upgrade you there. Give you that down there. I'm going to keep the light wooden. And then we come down here and we put the Tropicana with this. This is going to be our default, just default, keeping it everything pretty much this there. And then now we have to take this plus, no. Okay. Then we're going to take this plus 119.28. No, not point. 28. Then we have that 0. It's going to cost us about $146,714 to do this. Just to get this fully there for it. Now, that's what this is going to cost us if we do confirm this order. Let's confirm it though. Because if we look at this, now we're going to take this and we're going to drive this. Because we have multiple ways, and I don't want to try to figure this out. Because now, of course, I don't have my lights on, so I'm gonna get a fine if I don't. I really like the dash in the internet in this one, but I like the other one better. Now, absolutely, since I know that we go back, I would have to install install. Let's get down here. Let's go over. Because I want to make sure that, oh, okay, so this is... Whoops. Yeah, because it's got, you can hear that squeaking. And now we go to service. Now we go to service recommended, and then we take this plus the plus 534 on this. This is for it. Now, of course, that's gonna give us the lowest star possible rating. Okay, that means it's going to be 534 to get this truck to this standard. Now, of course, if we do this in the other fashion, okay. Now, let's do this in another fashion. No. Bank. Okay. Then we go to Garage Manager. Upgrade U. And then we go to used truck market. Okay, we're gonna take this one here. We've got two for this. So that means we're gonna purchase, I think, actually, what's the condition? That's 4% maintenance. That one's got 3%. For a little bit more, I think I will take that, just because. So now, I did not. Hold on, let me load this again. I did not keep track of. I'm gonna copy that one there. I did not bank. Okay. Then we go to now I could add a 10,000 if I needed to, but I'm not going to just yet. Because we have that. Let's go to ROG. Okay. So now let's go to used trucks. International day cab. Now before I do, we're gonna take 115,335. Okay, so we got 115,335 for this one. Okay. So now let's go to truck manager. We're gonna upgrade we'll upgrade you to the 200 gal before it. Upgrade you to the 450 horsepower for now. Actually, no, what we can do... Hold on. Let's cancel the new modifications. Copy config. Do the full configuration. Okay. Now, we are actually going to change some things on it, but it would take this plus 97623. That's 212 to doing this. That's 212,000 for it. We're not going to do the full configuration. We're just going to upgrade you to basically we're gonna follow pretty much. We're gonna do that. We're gonna bring it upgraded to the 450. I'm gonna bring it up to the efficiency, and then I'm also gonna bring it up to that one. Okay. That's only a 7,000 difference here because we dropped this down by 1, 3, 4, 5. It is 2,206 just for this vehicle alone for me to transform this vehicle, whereas going with the other international, because I'm going all international, other one absolutely is going to cost us half the price for getting a new vehicle for our driver. And we are at now this price up here. If we do it, we do the other one. That's gonna basically allow us to pay off our other loan. I do want to do that. So we're, instead of doing this, we're gonna cancel the modifications. We could leave it the way that this is, because it is so good that I could pay off the loan, upgrade the International Lone Star Day Cab later. But what would you guys think? Should I upgrade this? Should I get this one? And just leave it stock? Maybe just upgrade maybe a couple of things with it. Just so that these guys can get a little bit further. Or do we go with the other International, this one here, where we save a lot more money, and we can go with it. Now, I could have easily gone with this one. Now, we know that that's still going to cost the same amount to upgrade this, but if we did that, 06, 769, which would still put us a little bit less underneath if I went with this International Lone Star Day Cab, and it would still be able to save us a little bit of cash. Now, I would still probably keep it at the lowest thing, but that had 3% on it. This one had 3% that we bought just now. Or we go with this one and we save ourselves a whole bunch. I think we just stick with what we've got. Let's go to our recruitment agency. I don't want to. We'll hire a driver. Okay. We don't have we don't have a lot of drivers to pick from. You have some economy fuel, which will save us some money, a little bit of money, to start off with, and you have 3 already, compared to the other ones that only have like 1 or 2. So we'll hire you. Okay. I think this is what we'll do. And then let's go to our bank. Okay. We will repay you off, because now we will have 578 a day instead of having 700 a day, or 7,000 a day. That's just gonna save us. We can pay that loan off, buy a bigger one. I think you really shouldn't, like, if you take out money, you shouldn't really use other money to go out and get a loan for it. But I think that's what we're gonna do. We will leave that there for today, though. I will save this in a separate file in case I do decide we fail. This one I will have live 17 2025 1-2. I'm gonna do it that way for this, so that it's a different one there. But I'm gonna get off though, because it is 6 o'clock. I need to get off because I need to go get some food. And I will be back again on at 9 o'clock tonight. So if you guys want to see content from me, that'll be great. 9 o'clock is going to be your fabulous time to come visit. Come see me then, for some content for Fortnite tonight. We might do Call of Duty tonight, because we got that cartoon update. Because the update, we also got the Fortnite update, so it's gonna be really a thing where, for that, I'll be on at 9 till 12 tonight, possibly longer. And then I might hop into American Truck at 12. We'll see how long Scarlett stays on for tonight. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, we'll be back to tomorrow after noon for some more American Truck Simulator. Or we might play a title testing out Linux stuff, because that's what I've been doing. American Truck and Euro Truck have been here since day one, since Linux has been around. As I started it, it's been around for a while, so it's not like I can't go and play this game here. They're absolutely supporting it. But you guys can check out that through TikTok by hitting that follow at Gaming ROG on TikTok. Same with Trovo. Hitting that follow is free, guys. If you're on Trovo, though, you can hit that subscribe. Watch some past live streams. Remember, night streams are put behind a paywall, as well as the daytime on TikTok, on Trovo. Here on YouTube, daytime is free. You guys can watch it anytime you want, for free. Anyway, and if you guys are subscribed on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that bell notification bell so you can stay up to date, because it is greatly appreciated. If you don't hit that all, you aren't going to get notified. That's just for anybody, you know, because you want to get those out right away, and as much as you can for the ones that you importantly watch. And then also, guys, not only that, let me know if you guys enjoyed this by hitting that like button as well. This is great to do that. And then let me know down in the comments, or let me know through chat how you guys enjoying me playing with Linux and playing with that, as well as just politics and stuff that we talk about here through when I do American Truck or Euro Truck. I talk politics. This is the time where I exclusively talk about it the most. Sometimes I will talk about it outside of this, so if you don't want to see politics, you don't want to see any of that, you don't have to come in the afternoons. Pretty much Mondays, I will play other games to see what is supported by Linux, so that we can kind of maybe go through and so that these companies can maybe get more. The more that we can get more people onto Linux, I think would be a lot more support. But I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of people have already said this multiple times. Few people have been on Linux for years. I just switched over this past week. Literally like this past week. Last week, pretty much. So anyway, we will catch you guys later. Like I said, today, but also today's sponsor is by. Today's sponsor is Christian Satori. Alright, you guys, today's sponsor is Christian Satori. Christian Satori. You can go use the code link. You guys can buy some of the best shoes around. You guys can buy some of the best shoes around. Canvas, you guys can also buy classic black canvas. So much canvas. Cool, you guys could also buy it in fuchsia. Cool. So gear. Much cool shit. Trust me. Cool gear. These are a fantastic brand. Trust me. But you guys not only can you buy shoes, you can also buy. You guys not only can you buy shoes, you can also buy some cool clothing as well. Clothing does include some if you guys want to use gear as well. But code if you guys want to use ROG at checkout, the code Christian Satori. Mattyrock at checkout /gaming Mattyrock ChristianSatori.com put /gaming Mattyrock put gaming go down and take down that link rocks when you check out put gaming. Now remember you might be able to get rocks at checkout off your order today. Now remember you might be able to get 15% off with the code off your order today, but only if you buy 2 products. Remember with the code. But you can get only if you buy 2 products. Remember cool puffer jackets. You can get some cool. Cool socks, squint cool puffer jackets, cool gear, cool socks, squint t-shirt, cool everything cool here is not super expensive. Remember, it is not inexpensive either. Everything here is not super expensive. You guys remember, but it is not inexpensive either. Down there, so You guys remember links down in the Zatori.com/gaming Matarocks. Use code Zatori Gaming Matarocks. Use code Gaming Matarocks at checkout to get 5% off your order. Alright, well, yeah. So my live streams are pretty much daily, 3 to 5:30, 6. Sometimes it's 6. If I do not have to go make supper, I'll go until 6, but if I have to make supper, it's 5:30. Then at night, I live stream pretty much exclusively Trovo and TikTok, at night, from about 9 till about 11. No, until about 2, except for Saturday is until 1. Next year that will be till 2, but I will not have a Saturday afternoon stream. The most, that'll just be there. I mean, Sunday afternoon stream. Sunday to Friday, afternoons are from there. If you want to catch me outside of just this, you guys can always check out my socials. You guys can always hop in to the Barnacles TikTok chat. That is greatly there. On the TikTok on Saturdays. I'm always there. That's why I'm not live on Saturdays, because I'm watching Barnacles. Anyway, afternoons are pretty much exclusively, YouTube is only exclusively gets this, as well as the TikTok and the Trovo side, but afternoons are exclusively those 3 platforms. Anyway, we will catch you